Okay, let's move on to MVP of the week. And actually, this is a really good choice by Phoebe Schechter, I think, this week. Actually, from a losing team this week, but for very good reason. Tell me about it, Phoebe.
Yeah, so I've gone with Ricky Pearsall, and he was the 49ers receiver who was shot literally 50 days before his game on Sunday, whilst someone was trying to rob his watch, and it went through him, but this was his first game. He was a third-round draft pick from the 49ers, and so for him to be out there, first off, he got a standing ovation when he came onto the field from everybody in the stadium, and for him to go out there and be able to get routes to overcome everything he came through, it was phenomenal, and he was targeted multiple times. It wasn't like it was just a trying to make him feel good thing. Like he's a great receiver. Shanahan was talking about how he kept earning his way, so I think that's pretty special.
I feel like it's just mad though when you think about it. You can even just put it in a headline like, player shot weeks ago makes debut for 49ers. That is just mad.
Yeah.
And it just makes me think that no matter what he did this season, it was going to be great. But the fact that he managed to get on the field. So because this is a 49ers team, we don't need to discuss 49ers too much right now, but this is a 49ers team that have massive aspirations. So it could be that this player, who was shot at the beginning of the season, could make a huge difference for this team.
Yeah, hugely. And sorry, his first-round draft pick. And he'd had shoulder injuries coming into it, but they need receivers right now, right? Debo's unwell with pneumonia. Fluid in his lungs. I mean, we saw him at the game, and he did not look okay. Like, he could not breathe. But then you've got so many other injuries.
Brandon Ayuk. Yeah.
Exactly, and it keeps going on and on. Kittle as well, questionable. So you're losing people. Juwan Jennings was out last weekend. I mean, the list goes on. But really, Ricky Pearsall, if he can start to get those extra reps this week, he might be that number one receiver. And Shanahan is great at making sure that doesn't matter where you sit, right, on the post in terms of if you're the lowest man on the totem pole, you are coached just as well as your number one receiver. So he'll understand the scheme and be put in a great place to be successful.
Yeah, a really crazy, fascinating few weeks for Ricky Pearsall. Saquon Barkley, though, ooh. Phoebe Schechter. Saquon Barkley, who at the weekend game, the Philadelphia Eagles, his new team against his old team, the New York Giants, he put up the most yards that he has ever put up at MetLife Stadium. That's the team that he used to play for in the home stadium. And it is, I mean, you couldn't write it. You couldn't write it, could you?
No. I mean, this is what you ask for. And he's been such a great addition. You talk about great moves in the offseason. Bringing him over to the Eagles, he has just changed and really blossomed into this new athlete. Because remember, when he was with the Giants, it pretty much was Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. But now you've got an actual passing game. Now you've got that threat with A.J. Brown. It's making Saquon Barkley a better player. And you and I were talking earlier about how on the bench towards the end of the game when they were starting to sit people, Coach Sirianni goes over to him and said, hey, you got 13 yards. Do you want to go in, kind of set that record? And he's like, no, let the young guys do it. And I think it just speaks so much to his mindset as an athlete and what's really important to him and how he is a team player.
I feel like I need to, at the very least, have a little bit of a rant about the New York Giants at this point.
Talk to me.
Because Saquon Barkley should be a New York Giant right now. He wanted to be a New York Giant. The organization didn't put up enough money. We saw Bill Belichick over the last couple of days being like, he should be a Giant. They should have just given him that $2 million more. They got a guard instead. Now, why did they not get Saquon Barkley? It's because they put up so much money for their, what they thought, franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones, a player that they benched towards the end because of the last game against the Eagles because the offense needed more, I'll paraphrase, pep, right? They put in Drew Lock instead. So what's happened there is that over the course of the last 2 seasons, you have decided to put so much money into your quarterback who has so far proven the wrong decision. Instead of your running back, he's moved to your rivals, the rivals in the same division, who's just destroyed you at your stadium. Now, New York Giants fans, there are some fans out there who at that stadium were just hammering Saquon Barkley, booing Saquon Barkley. Now, I'm sure that there were a lot that weren't, don't get me wrong. New York Giants fans, what are you doing? This is my message to you. What are you doing? What are you playing at? Come on, it is not Saquon Barkley's fault. Barkley wanted to be a New York Giant. We saw on the Hard Knocks over in the offseason, he said explicitly, I want to be a New York Giant. He said that to the general manager. he ends up being a Philadelphia Eagle because they don't put up enough money for him. New York Giants, I don't know what's going on there. But if I'm a New York Giants fan right now, first of all, don't be annoyed at Saquon Barkley, be annoyed at your organisation. And B, I just don't know how to feel about being a fan of the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Tranquilo,
mi amigo.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I need to chill out. Can have a sip of water
all right.
now.
Just breathe. Just breathe. Don't
I'm
worry.
not a New York Giants fan. I just feel frustrated at the way my voice is going because I'm so agitated about this. I just feel frustrated about the way that New York Giants fans have been treated over the past couple of years and how select New York Giants fans have treated Saquon Barkley when he was playing back at their home stadium.